Welcome to the autopsy bench. This is a bit of a weird video because what we have on the bench here is a series diff. I'll say no more than that. 4.7 ratio and in a pretty dog rough condition. And it's one of the ones that I keep talking about, which has got the split casing on the end here. And the split casing allows you to undo these bolts and change the pinion seal and put it back on. And I keep talking about what is the big bearing version of this, which is tricky to get hold of, and I'm going to explain why. Because to be honest, it's extremely difficult to look at one of these and identify if it's an ordinary imperial casing with a split nose on the front or if it's a big bearing case. I'll show you what the difference is. So this is one version of a split casing, and this one is another version. If you look closely, you can see that that is bigger and deeper than that. And that's the head bearing end. However, now at the other end, this is the big bearing case. The pinion on this is absolutely massive. And here is the other case, which isn't. As you can see there, the race is about half the size, and you've got a good sort of 10 mil here at the top that isn't used by the race at all, whereas on this one it completely fills it. Unfortunately, if I put my trusty knackered vernier across here, that's the width on a big bearing pinion, and if I put it on this one, you can see it's about 6-7 mil bigger and an awful lot deeper. It's extremely difficult to tell which one is which when the pinion and crown wheel and centre is in there. You pretty much have to strip it down, but it's only the really early ones that have these really big pinion bearings. Land Rover started cutting costs, and it's cheaper to put a smaller bearing in, and in actual fact the bearing in there is still bigger than a metric case bearing, but this is the big bad boy. So occasionally we decide to do something really special with these. So if you actually look at the head bearings, they're not significantly different. This is basically a metric casing that goes from the sort of late 50s, early 60s. This is the imperial one, and there really isn't much difference in size. The big difference on big bearing cases is the pinion. Now here's your pinion bearing. On the right hand side is a big bearing pinion. On the left hand side, the standard metric. I mean, it's a massive, as you can see, there's a massive difference in both size and strength, and this is what makes these so much stronger. Pinion bearing failure is one of the #1 issues on not just Land Rover diffs but all diffs. The bigger the bearing the better, and there is a big difference. And then again on the carrier, on the left hand side imperial, on the right hand side metric, significantly stronger. So this is why the big bearing cases are the strongest casings you can get for a Land Rover. What I'm going to do now is show you one that we've modified a bit further. And this will probably give you a clue. At the back here we have a shaped piece of 10 mil laser cut polish plate, and then we have a top plate, and then we have a down plate, and these have been specially designed by us to fit these big bearing cases so we can peg them. And this is one that we're going to build an ash locker in with a 4.7 crown wheel and pinion, full tab lock, pretty much every upgrade we can get. And yes, even with this split end, we can do a conversion and still super flange it. And this is for me, I'm having this one. So there we go. All we got to do now is machine it and paint it and build it, and that will be another video. But that is a big bearing case, pegged. That is as strong a case as you can get for any Land Rover differential, and we only have a few of them, and we don't get many in. We get them from time to time, but in the main they're the ordinary imperial split nose case, which is no great big deal. Hope you find this interesting. Bye for now.